Shabbat Shalom, family, brothers and sisters, peace and blessings. Hope you all are doing well this evening. Back again for another installment of our health and fitness series. All right. We will be streaming here tonight. For those who are wondering, I think will be part 3 of our health and fitness series. So diving in on the health aspect of things. So let me go ahead and get the title for the content for this stream. The title will be, Let Thy Food Be Thy Medicine, and Medicine Thy Food. Let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine thy food. All right. And, we've been dealing with, the obesity topic here in the first 2 broadcasts that we have done. And, we're going to continue in dealing with this obesity topic, this 100-ton elephant that's in the room that no one wants to discuss or talk about in our community. And our last stream that we did on the health and fitness series, we did the stream titled Slaying the Obesity Demon. Okay, we went from the obesity epidemic, identifying this epidemic that is plaguing society, plaguing America, and primarily plaguing the Black community, to then identifying that there is a demon as a root cause at the root of this epidemic of obesity, identifying that demon and beginning the first steps in tackling and slaying this demon. All right. So when we talk about let thy food be thy medicine and medicine thy food, now we're going to look into identifying what is actually food versus what the world has told us what is food. Okay, what is food? And food when it comes to the terminology or the term medicine. Now, before I go in, just want to make it clear, I am not a doctor, I am not a physician. So before, anyone who views this content makes any, decisions concerning their health, whether it's short-term or long-term, make sure you contact your doctor or your health physician, anything regarding your health. Okay. I am a certified physical trainer, certified nutritionist, and certified health coach. All right. And within those certifications, it allows me, I have certain qualifications when it comes to talking and dealing with things concerning health and fitness. Okay. So really what we've been dealing with is just some of the basic fundamentals. We're talking about our health, things concerning dieting, fitness as far as exercise or our activity level. But for tonight, we're continuing in this discussion of slaying this obesity demon. We're shifting now to dealing more so with the diet aspect of slaying this demon. And in that leads us to our title, Let Thy Food Be Thy Medicine, and Medicine Thy Food. Okay, so let me in understanding what is our food, because a lot of people may not understand what is considered food. Okay, it's because you eat something and put something in your mouth doesn't make it food. Okay, so that's the first thing we must identify. What is food? So we're going to deal with understanding what is food tonight, and we're also going to understand when it comes to food being our medicine. Okay, our food being our medicine. So I want to deal with, because I'm pretty sure everyone out there has a pretty good understanding and sense of what food is, or the definition of food. Okay, so we will get some biblical understanding through scripture on what is food, but I want to get some just common term definitions for medicine. Okay, let me pull this up here for you all so you all can see my screen. Take y'all over to the whiteboard. Okay, and as you can see here on my screen, we have from the Oxford Dictionary,
medicine.
It says here, the science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. In technical use, often taken to exclude surgery. Okay, so medicine, and its common understanding of what medicine is science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of disease. Okay, so we're talking about diagnosing disease, treating disease, and preventing disease through science, all right? Through a science. We also have another definition here. A compound or preparation used for the treatment or prevention of disease, especially a drug or drugs taken by mouth. Okay, so a compound or preparation that's now used to prevent, to treat or prevent the disease that's now been diagnosed in definition number 1. And in our common world of medicine, it's been done through drugs. But what if we were then able to look at our screen here, and these particular items on the screen that we would all look at and say, oh, that's food. What if these items on the screen, these food items, what if these things could actually be our medicine? Okay, what if all we need to do when it comes to our health, our medicine, is just change our eating habits and how we eat and what we eat? And this in turn will then allow us to slay this demon here, the obesity demon. What if that's all it took? And what if by having our diet in a form of medicine, because the food that we're eating is now nutritious to our bodies, and now we're preventing and treating the diseases that we read in the definition that we saw on our screen when we talk about medicine, right? What if the food in itself is the bottom line solution to once a disease has been diagnosed, to be able to treat it and or prevent the disease? So that's what that's the content we're dealing with tonight when it comes to our health and slaying this demon. So let us go over here and get some more dealing with medicine. It's off Wikipedia. It says here, medicine is the science and practice of caring for a patient, managing the diagnosis, prognosis, prevention, treatment, palliation, or of their injury or disease, and promoting their health. Medicine encompasses a variety of healthcare practices evolved to maintain and restore health by the prevention and treatment of illness. Contemporary medicine applies biomedical sciences, biomedical research, genetics, and medical technology to diagnose, treat, and prevent injury and disease, typically through pharmaceuticals or surgery, but also through therapies as diverse as psychotherapy, external splints and traction, medical devices, biologics, and ionizing radiation, among others. So there's a lot of complexity depending on when we're talking about medicine and treating disease, right? It says here, medicine has been practiced since prehistoric times, and for most of this time it was an art, an area of skill and knowledge, frequently having connections to the religious and philosophical beliefs of local culture. For example, a medicine man would apply herbs and say prayers for healing. Or an ancient philosopher and physician would apply bloodletting according to the theories of humorism. In the recent centuries, since the advent of modern science, most medicine has become a combination of art and science, both basic and applied under the umbrella of medical science. For example, while stitching technique for sutures is an art learned through practice, the knowledge of what happens at the cellular and molecular level in the tissues being stitched arises through science. Pre-scientific forms of medicine, known as traditional medicine or folk medicine, remain commonly used in the absence of scientific medicine and are thus called alternative medicine. Alternative treatments outside of scientific medicine with safety and efficacy concerns are termed quackery. Now, it's interesting that these particular traditional medicines or folk medicines that they're calling alternative medicine now, that have been used for thousands of years, it's interesting how these types of medicine are considered quackery, whereas the more modern medicine, which is called scientific medicine, which hasn't been around that long, is looked at as, the actual gold standard. It's interesting how that works, but we're not here to talk about that. Just wanted to point that out. And so we're talking about here traditional medicine, alternative medicine, and when you come over here to Wikipedia, and again, we're just getting some of this, some history here. We're just dealing with the terminology of medicine, so we understand what medicine is. But so far we've come to the understanding that medicine is dealing with disease. Okay. Diagnosis, treatment, or prevention. It says here, traditional medicine, also known as indigenous medicine or folk medicine, comprises medical aspects of traditional knowledge that developed over generations within the folk beliefs of various societies, including indigenous peoples before the era of modern medicine. The World Health Organization defines traditional medicine as a sum total of the knowledge, skills, and practices based on the theories, beliefs, and experiences indigenous to different cultures, whether explicable or not, used in the maintenance of health as well as in the prevention, diagnosis, improvement, or treatment of physical and mental illness. Traditional medicine is often contrasted with scientific medicine. All right, let's drop down here. It says here, the WHO notes, however, that inappropriate use of traditional medicines or practices can have negative or dangerous effects, and that further research is needed to ascertain the efficacy and safety of such practices and medicinal plants used by traditional medicine systems. As a result, the WHO has implemented a 9-year strategy to support member states in developing proactive policies and implementing action plans that will strengthen the role traditional medicine plays in keeping populations healthy. So we're going to talk about the WHO tonight and talk about their, we're going to get it from them as well when it comes to, medicine and as well as food. And we're also going to get some what they would call prehistoric times or ancient time folklore or folk medicine or alternative or traditional medicine. We're also going to get that too by going to the Bible. Okay. So let us go ahead and go over to the Bible now. And we're going to go back to the very beginning. All right. We're going to go back to the very beginning and see, according to God, the creator, the God of the Bible, what food was and what medicine was. And is there an actual, is there a similarity or a similitude between our food and our medicine? Are they one and the same? Okay, are they one and the same? So we're going to first, again, we're going to go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the very beginning of creation, Genesis chapter 1. Okay, Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to drop down to verse 29. Genesis 1 and 29 says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." So now let's go into some of these words and get some definitions and understanding behind these words. So when we go to the word herb here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 29, it says in Hebrews Strong's 62:12, it says, "To glisten or be green, grass or any tender shoot." Okay, so what we're seeing here is a tender shoot, a sprout, something sprouting up out of the earth that bears a seed. Okay, so it's coming out of the ground and it has seed. And this herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So out of these tender shoots or sprouts, you then have a tree. And from this tree, you then have what? Fruit. Okay, when we go to the Hebrew Strong 65:29, fruit is a bow or a reward. All right. So the reward of this tree coming from a seed, the reward is food, meat, fruit. Let's go to the word meat here. The word meat, we have Hebrew Strong's 402, food, consume, devour, eat, food, meat. All right, so now I know when we looking at ancient words and common language and common words, of course, when we use the word meat now, we more so use it in terms of like animals. Okay, animal flesh, we more so call meat. Okay, but when we're looking in context within, biblical and more ancient language, meat was more so just anything that you could eat or consume. In this case, it was, herbs that came from seed, that bear seed, that turned into a tree that produced fruit, and that became our food. All right. Now, of course, we know when we go to Leviticus chapter 11, that in chapter 11, that it gives us the understanding behind clean and unclean animals that we can eat, okay, as food. But we're not dealing with the animals tonight. We're more so focusing on the things coming out of the earth, okay, for the most part. And we'll deal with the animals in another stream, if it be, the Lord's will. But now let us continue. Now we're getting some understanding of what is actual food. And is there any correlation between food and medicine, according to the Bible, according to, even some things that we may read within our modern academia. Okay, so now let's go to the book of Psalms, the 104th chapter. All right, Psalms 104. And we're going to read verse 14. It says here, he causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. All right. So during creation, this is part of creation, that the grass came out of the ground to feed the animals, and herbs out of the earth for the service of man to bring forth food out of the earth. Okay. Now, let's keep building on this. We're going to go to the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha. Let's continue to keep building on this biblical understanding of what is food. What is food, and can we then view our food as medicine? And what is medicine? We got the modern terminology of what medicine is, and a lot of times people think medicine, they think of a drug. Okay. Medicine is something that's designed to diagnose, treat, or prevent disease or sickness. So is there any correlation between our food and our medicine and disease? So Sirach chapter 38, and we're going to go to verse 4. Sirach 38 verse 4 tells us, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. All right. So the Bible tells we've seen that the herb bearing seed coming out of the earth, it would, become trees and produce fruit, and that would be our meat. We're also seeing here the medicines also coming out of the earth. So now we're able to see this correlation coming into play of the food that will come out of the earth being our medicine. And he that is wise will not abhor them. Let's go to now the book of Proverbs chapter 17. And now we can understand what they would call alternative medicine, or traditional medicine, or folk medicine, and why this form of medicine has been used for so very long, because this is what it was from the very beginning. This was always known to be the case, that your food was medicine. But have we gotten away from our food being medicine and replaced it with something else? These are questions that we must ask ourselves. Okay. Proverbs chapter 17. And if we've gotten away from food being our medicine, what is this then leading us to? Is this leading us to obesity? Is this then leading us to disease? Proverbs 17 verse 22 tells us, the merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bone. So let's take a look at this word medicine here and get the Hebrew definition. Let's get the Hebrew definition for the word medicine. We have Hebrew Strong's 1456. It says a cure. Okay, a cure. Again, when you're treating a disease, you're looking to cure the disease. Okay, but if you're preventing the disease, that's also a cure, because you're preventing it from taking place. All right, so again, making sure we get the definitions here within the scriptures of what these words mean. as well as the precepts to show us what is food and what is medicine. So now we're going to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 47. Ezekiel 47, verse 12. It says here, and by the river upon the bank thereof, on the side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat. Okay, same thing we've seen so far, Genesis 1 and 29, Sirach 38:4. Okay, we're seeing that the things coming out of the earth are our food, our meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued out of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. Okay, and medicine is what? A cure. The herb that produces out of the seed a sprout, then becomes a tree. The tree brings forth fruit. Here in Ezekiel 47, the fruit becomes our meat, and the leaves of the tree are our medicine. And when you look at that word, meat there, Hebrew Strong's 3978, it says, an eatable, including provender, flesh and fruit, food, fruit, meat, victual. And then when we go to, again, that word fruit there means a bow or a reward. We also have the word leaf as coming up on a tree, foliage, branch. And then we have the word medicine, Hebrew Strong's 8644, in the sense of its congener, a remedy. Okay, a remedy. So medicine is a remedy or a cure, and we're seeing the Bible correlate it to our food. Our food coming from where? The earth. All right, so again, have we gotten away from what is our food? Have we gotten away from what is our cure? What is our remedy? What is our healing? And replaced it with something else that is making us obese and making us sick with disease. Now let's go to Matthew chapter 13. Okay, these are the questions we should be asking ourselves. And if we're asking ourselves these questions, for those of us who are maybe dealing with certain things in our bodies, sicknesses and the such, maybe now we can identify why we are dealing with these conditions. Okay, if you're overweight or obese, why am I dealing with the condition of obesity or being overweight? If I'm dealing with a sickness or disease, why am I dealing with the sickness or disease? Have I gotten away from what God, what the Creator has always commanded us is our food and our medicine? So we're dropping down to Matthew 13, verse 32. We'll start at verse 31. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Okay. Again, we're seeing the seed going into the earth, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs. So let's take a look at this word here for herb in the Greek Strong's definition. So in the Greek Strong's, we have the word for herb. Greek Strong's 30 or Greek Strong's 3001, it says a vegetable. A vegetable. So now we're starting to see where when we're talking about herbs, according to the Bible, we're seeing fruits and vegetables. Okay, because when we use the term herb in our common language, we more so think of herb as something that you really don't eat, but that you take. Okay, difference between eating and taking something. Okay, you may think of a herb. I'm taking this herb for a particular reason, whether it's, because I'm, for my health's sake, I'm dealing with something, disease or sickness wise, or I'm taking it for a supplement to, actually, help me in whatever way I need it to help me, for my health's sake. This is more so the terminology of herb today, but understanding in ancient time, when we talk about the terminology in scripture, we're dealing with herbs. It's more so dealing with fruits and vegetables for the most part, most of the times. It doesn't mean the other plants that are more so used for, higher level of healing. But primarily herb is more so looked at in scripture as a fruit or vegetable. Okay, and if we keep reading Matthew 13 and 32 here, it says, which is indeed the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. So we should have a really crystal clear understanding, according to the Bible, of not only what is our food, of what is food according to the Bible. Okay, food according to the Bible is what comes out of the earth, excluding the clean animals. Again, we're not talking about the animals that we can eat that are clean. That's for another topic for another day. We're dealing mainly with stuff coming out of the earth, herbs that bear seeds, that turn into a tree, that produce fruit and vegetables. Okay, and then through this herb coming out of the earth comes forth medicine. So again, going back to our title for tonight is what? Let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine thy food. Have we gotten away from what is food according to God? And then what then correlates into being our medicine, and have we replaced it with other things that's not food and that is not medicine? Okay, we're going to now go to the book of Jubilees. All right, we're going now to the book of Jubilees, which is an extra biblical text. And we talked about the obesity demon in the last, this is the title for our last stream that we did, and identifying it in the book of Enoch. Okay, we identified that in the book of Enoch, that the angels that came down and laid with the daughters of the sons of men, who were called the angels were called the watchers, that these women then became pregnant and gave birth to giants. And these giants, when they were killed in the flood, from their bodies came forth evil spirits, whom we know today as demons. And these evil spirits, their whole mission is to destroy. But they do not take food. They're hungry and thirst, but do not take food or drink. So therefore, they must then consume through a host, that being mankind. Okay, they are able to get their gluttonous and insatiable appetites quenched through us. But in the process, it's not just to get that quench and that hunger and that thirst quenched and that desire fulfilled. It's not just for that, but it's also to destroy us. So understanding that they're not looking for us just to eat regular, or what you would call, food. They're looking for us to eat something else that we would call food that's not food. That's going to bring forth destruction, overweight, obesity, disease, sickness, death. Okay, so now we're going to pick up on this now in the book of Jubilees. So just like how we read in Enoch, now Jubilees, which is also an extra biblical text, is going to confirm all of what we have been talking about in the book of Enoch. So it says here, this is the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, verse 1. And it reads, "In the third week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah, and to make to err and destroy them." So no sooner than the flood happened, the giants were destroyed. The evil spirits came out from amongst those giants. They're roaming the earth, looking to destroy. Okay, so now the sons of Noah, who come off the ark and now begin to have sons of their own, now these evil spirits are looking for hosts. So they're looking to lead astray the sons of Noah and destroy them. It says here, verse 2, "And the sons of Noah came to Noah their father, and they told him concerning the demons which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons' sons." So if we don't slay these demons, in this case the obesity demon, that demon will slay us. That's correct. That's the importance of identifying this demon, not playing around with this demon. Okay, you want to play around with any demon, but in this case, the obesity demon, you have to be honest and slay and tackle and slay this demon before it slays you. Okay, because this was what was happening after the flood. So what did Noah do? Verse 3, "And he prayed before the Lord his God and said, God of the spirits of all flesh, who has shown mercy unto me, and has saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has not caused me to perish as thou didst the sons of perdition. For thy grace has been great towards me, and great hath been thy mercy to my soul. Let the grace be lift up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth." So again, confirming the book of Enoch, the demons or the evil spirits' job is to destroy. Verse 4, "But do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And thou knowest how thy watchers," again, book of Enoch, the angels that came down and slept with women were called the watchers. "Knowest how thy watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day." Okay, so who are the fathers of the demons, of the evil spirits? The watchers. That's where demons come from. All right, so if anyone is denying the book of Enoch, Jubilees, or Genesis chapter 6, saying that there were no angels that came down and slept with women, then they must prove through scripture, where do demons come from? Show me in the Bible where demons come from, because we're seeing it right here. Okay, it says here, "And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my God, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy." So it's a few things we want to point out here, a couple things. So Noah is calling for a place of imprisonment for these demons, to hold them there in prison. This prison known as hell. Okay, that's the one thing. So this is the reason why hell was created. The hell was created for these evil spirits. Also, these evil spirits are referred to as malignant. So oftentimes when we're dealing with disease, we're talking about the topic of conversation is disease, and someone's dealing with the disease. Typically, that disease is something that a person has been dealing with for a long time. Okay? They've been dealing with it for a long time and it's not going away. Well, what is another word for something that is long time and not going away? That is referred to as malignant. So that's a demon. Okay, so just like how you would see someone who's obese, they haven't been obese for a day or a week. They've been that way, overweight, for a long time. They're dealing with a malignancy. They're dealing with a demon looking to destroy. Verse 6. It says, and let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for thou alone canst exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. So we have power over these demons. Okay, they're looking to gain power over us and to rule us. So when we're dealing with things like disease, we're dealing with things like obesity, that's a demon that's ruling our lives. It has rule over us. Or any other sin we're dealing with. That's a demon looking to become our master. But we have power, as Noah commanded or prayed for, to let these demons not have power over us. So we have to understand where is our power in fighting against the demons. Verse 7. And the Lord our God bade us to bind all. Now when it says the Lord our God bade us, that us is talking about the righteous angels, the archangels, the upper echelon hierarchy of angels that have power to bind the demons. Verse 8. And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came and said, Lord Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them hearken to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. So here comes the devil, the chief of the demons. Okay, the devil is the chief of the demons. He's looking to have some of them be given unto him and not all of them be bound in hell. He's looking to execute his power of destruction in this earth. The devil says, for these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. So some people may look at this and say, well, that says Mastema. That doesn't say the devil. Well, we're going to show you how that's the devil here in a moment. Okay. Verse 9. And he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. So a 10th part of the demons remain under the devil's power to wreak havoc and destruction in the earth on the sons of Noah. Verse 10. And one of us he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines. So here we have one of the righteous angels, and it's referenced here that it is speaking about Raphael, that Raphael would teach Noah all the medicines in the earth. Now let's see where the medicines come from. Let's see if what we've laid so far in scripture, whether or not there's any conflict here of scripture, or if it lines right up with the precepts that we've already brought forth. Okay. So the angels to teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. Verse 11. And we did according to all his words. All the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and a tenth part of them we left that they might be subject before Satan on the earth. Before Satan on the earth. So there it is. Mastema is Satan or the devil. They're one and the same. He's the chief of the spirits, and he goes by many names. And the spirits that are under him that he uses and sends out as minions and sentinels, they go by many names too. All right. And they're looking for you to worship them, to give power unto them so they can rule over you. Hence the obesity demon. All right. Verse 12. And we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases. See that? The medicines of their diseases together with their seductions, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. Okay. Vegetables, fruits, and then of course on a higher level of healing, other plants that you don't really necessarily eat as food, but you take as herb. But notice how these demons come with diseases and seductions. Because these medicines were being explained to Noah of all the demons' diseases and their seduction. So with the demons comes disease. Okay, so these are ways that we can identify demons. If we're looking at disease, if we're seeing obesity, these are signs to show us a demon is present. An evil spirit is present, and we must now seek and search out the right way of healing. And part of that is through herbs out of the earth, food from the earth. Verse 13, and Noah wrote down all things in a book as we instructed him concerning every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. So when we're eating the food out of the earth, the obesity demon has no power over us. We then begin to put forth the power to slay the obesity demon. Okay? Because it's our medicine. The food that comes out of the earth is our medicine. And it says here, verse 14, and he gave all that he had written to Shem, his eldest son, for he loved him exceedingly above all his sons. Okay? So I hope we're seeing how, according to the Bible, that if we let our food be our medicine and medicine be our food, we can then tackle and slay this obesity demon that's plaguing the black community in a rampant fashion right now. The black community leads America. We are the most obese demographic, the most obese race in America right now. Okay? Because we know we're the sons and daughters of Jacob. So these demons are really after us. And before we continue on with the information, I know this is something that's getting a lot of attention right now. I know some of you maybe have heard about Kanye West, his interview on Fox News. And I thought it was very interesting. One of the things that he was speaking about that we have been talking about in the past couple of weeks. So this video here, titled Kanye West Media's Promotion of Obesity is Demonic. Let's check this out. Let's hear what Brother Kanye has to say about obesity and linking it to being demonic. Fair use. Fair use.
And just one by one, I've been winning these battles, right? And they thought they had me. They had the idea that Ye was bullying, what I think the liberal term is a body goals black woman. Now let's talk about Gabby and my good friend Lizzo. Lizzo works with my trainer, a friend of mine, Harley Pasternak. When Lizzo loses 10 pounds and announces it, the bots, that's a term for people it's like telemarketer callers, like on Instagram, they attack her for losing weight.
So, first of all, Kanye West said Lizzo is his friend. So in no way is he talking about this in any way to attack Lizzo. But he's making a point that something's wrong, that when Lizzo loses 10 pounds, the bots, he refers to them like telemarketers, attack. Well, we know that these aren't telemarketers. These bots are the demons. Okay? Because, again, if obesity is a demon, then the demon doesn't want to leave. So if a person is then beginning to lose weight, they're now moving away from sickness and disease, which is counterproductive to the demon, because the demon's looking to destroy. So let's hear this again. When she looked to lose 10 pounds, what happens?
When Lizzo loses 10 pounds and announces it, the bots, that's a term for people it's like telemarketer callers, like on Instagram, they attack her for losing weight because the media wants to put out a perception that being overweight is the new goal when it's actually unhealthy. Yes. Let's get aside the fact of whether it's fashion and Vogue, which is not. Let's just, or if someone thinks it's attractive, to each his own. It's actually clinically unhealthy, and for people to promote that, it's demonic.
It's what?
People to promote that. It's demonic.
It's demonic. It's demonic. So here it is. Kanye West is speaking about how it's been clinically proven that being obese is not healthy. And this obesity is being promoted and pushed in the black community. Let me pull it up here. I'm going to show you all. This is being promoted. This clinically unhealthy way of being and looking is demonic. But they're pushing it and promoting it as fashion. Hence the reason why you see Lizzo here with the body on this outfit she's wearing. But when she loses 10 pounds, the bots come out and they're in a frenzy telling her she needs to gain back the weight. She needs to gain more weight. All right. So Kanye West is identifying this as demonic. Let's hear it again from the top.
Woman. Now let's talk about Gabby and my good friend Lizzo. Lizzo works with my trainer, a friend of mine, Harley Pasternak. When Lizzo loses 10 pounds and announces it, the bots, that's a term for people like, it's like telemarketer callers, like on Instagram, they attack her for losing weight because the media wants to put out a perception that being overweight is the new goal.
So they want to put out overweight as the new goal. Why is the media want to put out being overweight as the new goal, especially for black women? Okay. And for the black race. Well, Kanye is going to speak on that too. He's going to speak on why is this happening? He's going to be asked the question, why is this being promoted with this black woman?
And it's actually unhealthy. Yes. Let's get aside the fact of whether it's fashion and Vogue, which is not. Let's just, or if someone thinks it's attractive, to each his own. It's actually clinically unhealthy. And for people to promote that, it's demonic. For
people to promote the unhealthy obesity as fashion is demonic. Now he's fixing to speak on why is this being promoted with black women? Why is this being promoted in the black community?
You know,
what can I ask? Yeah. I've noticed this also.
Yeah.
Why do you think they would want to promote unhealthiness?
That's a great question, Tucker. Why would they want to promote obesity? Why would they want to promote unhealthiness
among the population?
It's a genocide of the black race.
It's a what?
Population.
It's a genocide of the black race.
It's a genocide of the black race. This is a genocide. This obesity epidemic and pushing this as a goal for black women and black people to attain is the genocide of the black race. It's another form of genocide. Let's get them with the obesity demon. Let's get them nice and sick and overweight and can't move. So when we come to take them out in war and we come to just, we're now ready to engage them out physically. They're in no capacity to fight back because they can't move because they're too big. They're not healthy. They're not in shape. They're sick. They're dying. It's the genocide of the black race. All through diet, all through health, all through fitness.
Population.
It's a genocide of the black race. They want to kill us in any way they can. Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK, and I believe that if we saw ourselves as a people and not a race, then we would treat our people better.
So there's a lot there. Kanye said a lot, and hey, I'm not here to promote Kanye West. I'm not here to promote Tucker Carlson. I'm not here to promote Fox News. I'm here to promote the truth. So I found it very interesting with the topic that we've been covering, because it's very controversial when we talk about there being an obesity demon, right? And no later than a week or two later, the Holy Spirit always is going to be vindicated. Okay? You could not outdo the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will always be vindicated. So here it is, a week or two later, Kanye West is identifying and speaking on the same subject matter we've been talking about. This obesity demon. It's demonic that they would push overweight obesity in our community, in fashion, okay, through idols like Lizzo, as the goal that we should strive to be like. And as Kanye said, the reason why is the genocide of the black race. So let us now talk about letting our food be our medicine and medicine be our food. Okay, how do we now start to take back this power that has been taken from us through unhealthy eating, so we can slay this demon once and for all and gain back our health? Okay. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. But now it's time to gain that knowledge back, and it's time to now start applying it. And so we have here on the World Health Organization website, WHO and FAO announced global initiative to promote consumption of fruit and vegetables. Just what we spoke of and read out of the Bible. It says here, low fruit and vegetable intake, a key risk factor for conditions such as heart disease, cancer, and obesity. But supply needs to be improved to meet global needs. So again, how have we come into this hole of being overweight, being obese, being sick? It's because we have gone away from what God told us what food was. He told us from the very beginning, our food comes out of the earth. Okay? Our food also consists of clean animals. But the problem with that is we consume too much animal and not enough food out of the earth. Not enough fruit and vegetables in our diet, primarily vegetables, because a lot of people eat fruit because it's sweet. Okay? But we need to get more vegetables along with fruit in our diets, which is food. So if what you see on the screen here, if you're not consuming majority of this, what you see on the screen, and it doesn't look like this when you eat it, you're not eating food. Okay, you might be eating processed food. You might be eating, whatever other name you want to call it, fast food. But when we're talking about food, this is what food looks like on our screen. If it doesn't look like this going into your mouth, you're not eating food. You're eating something else. And too much of something else versus what we should be eating is going to catch up to us and cause major problems in our health. It says here, the World Health Organization and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization announced today a unified approach to promote greater consumption of fruit and vegetables. Low fruit and vegetable intake is estimated to cause some 2.7 million deaths each year and was among the top 10 risk factors contributing to mortality, according to the World Health Report 2002. There is a strong and growing evidence that sufficient consumption of fruits and vegetables helps prevent many diseases and promotes good health, but large parts of the world's population consume too little of these. Let's drop down here. It says here, low fruit and vegetable intake is estimated to cause about 31% of ischemic heart disease and 11% of stroke worldwide. So if you're someone dealing with heart disease, stroke, you get to ask yourself, am I overweight? Am I obese? If so, I'm now putting myself in a high risk category for these particular diseases. The WHO International Agency for Research on Cancer estimates that the preventable percentage of cancer due to low fruit and vegetable intake ranges from 5 to 12% for all cancers and up to 20 to 30% for upper gastrointestinal tract cancers. Okay, so for those people who have had cancer before, or maybe you have cancer now, you have to ask yourself, am I getting enough vegetables and fruit in my diet? Okay, if you don't have cancer, you have to ask yourself, am I getting enough fruit and vegetables in my diet? If not, I'm not only running the risk of becoming obese, but I'm opening up the door for this demon to come in and destroy my life, which is what this demon, according to the Bible, was created for, to destroy. And so we have the Bible telling us what is food, and we also have the WHO telling us what is food and what is needed to combat and conquer obesity and disease. See, we as people, we're looking for the silver bullet, the magical pill we can take. All the while not addressing the roots. Okay? All the while the demon is going unnoticed, because we'll continue to look for that magical pill, and we'll swear we found the magical pill, the magical herb, and we'll continue to eat the same poor diet. And we'll continue to have the same weight that we shouldn't have on us. Okay? Thinking that silver bullet pill is going to be the solution. No. You must change the diet. And it's so simple as far as the formula to success when it comes to our weight, but it's hard to execute. That's the problem. So simple to understand. This is not very difficult. This is not rocket science here. Fruit and vegetables, right? It's sitting on our shelves at our stores. It might be sitting outside in your yard or in your backyard in your garden. Very, very easy to have access to and understand. But it's so hard to execute because we've consumed foods that have had added substances to them, whether it's processed sugars, processed salt, chemicals, and now these things become drugs. And then we get altered and warped in our taste buds of what something real tastes like. So now when we eat something that's real, like we eat an apple or we eat a carrot, now it don't hit the same. It don't taste the same. Like, that don't taste like food to me, because now your body's been altered. You're now addicted to something else that's not food. The demon now is looking for something else for you to eat. And we've been tricked in going down this hole, which is our grave. Okay? And not just with the fruit and vegetables, also the drinks, the water, not drinking the water. People don't want to drink water because it has no taste. Because now the sugary drinks have altered and warped our taste buds to where now, if it don't taste like that, I can't drink it. Water just doesn't taste good. It doesn't have any taste. See how that works? So we must now wean ourselves off and rehabilitate our taste buds Okay, rehabilitate our minds to what real food tastes like and what it is, what the consistency of it is. We don't even know what the consistency of what real food should be. But there's more. We have the WHO here. We also have. Well, before we go to the next one, let's get some definitions here for vegetable. The Bible refers to vegetable and fruit as herb. So when we go over here to Wikipedia, it says here, vegetables are parts of plants that are consumed by humans or other animals as food. The original meaning is still commonly used and is applied to plants collectively to refer to the edible plant matter, including the flowers, fruits, stems, leaves, roots, and seeds. Okay. Herbs. Herb-bearing seed. It says here, an alternative definition of the term is applied somewhat arbitrarily, often by culinary and cultural tradition. It may exclude foods derived from some plants that are fruits, flowers, nuts, and cereal grains, but includes savory fruits such as tomatoes and courgettes, flowers such as broccoli, and seeds such as pulses. So we're talking about all these things that come out of the earth. It says here, vegetables can be eaten either raw or cooked and play an important role in human nutrition, being mostly low in fat and carbohydrates, but high in vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber. So these things that come out of the earth are high in nourishment, high in nutrients. And we're going to talk about the micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, as well as we're going to talk about the macronutrients, not tonight, but in our upcoming broadcast, when we start breaking down what is in these foods that make them so vital to our health. What is in these foods that we need, that if we're not eating these foods, we're not getting from other things we eat that we're calling food, that's giving us the disease, the obesity, and so on and so forth. It says here, many nutritionists encourage people to consume plenty of fruit and vegetables, 5 or more portions a day, often being recommended. So that's vegetables. Now let's talk about fruit. In botany, a fruit is the seed-bearing structure in flowering plants that is formed from the ovary after flowering. Seed-bearing structure. The Bible says herb-bearing seed. It says here, in common language usage, fruit normally means the seed-associated fleshy structures or produce of plants that typically are sweet or sour and edible in the raw state, such as apples, bananas, grapes, lemons, oranges, and strawberries. In botanical usage, the term fruit also includes many structures that are not commonly called fruits in everyday language, such as nuts, bean pods, corn kernels, tomatoes, and wheat grains. Okay, so now we see fruit, vegetables, what they are, and we're going to deal with it in a moment. Their association with it being our medicine, our cure, our remedy, our healing, as well as our food. Now we're dealing with the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention website. How to use fruits and vegetables to help manage your weight. It says here, using more fruits and vegetables along with whole grains, lean meats, nuts, and beans is a safe and healthy way to lose or maintain weight. In addition, diets rich in fruits and vegetables may reduce the risk of some types of cancers and other chronic diseases. Fruits and vegetables also provide essential vitamins and minerals, fiber, and other substances that are important for good health. Okay, then it goes into losing weight. You must eat fewer calories than your body uses. We've talked about that. Okay. Simple ways to cut calories and eat more fruits and vegetables throughout the day. Okay, so there's easy ways to get in these vegetables and fruits throughout our day with our meals. But if we're eating fast food, we're eating processed foods, we're not going to get these in our diets. Okay, it says here, remember, substitution is the key. It's true that fruits and vegetables are lower in calories than many other foods, but they do contain some calories. If you start eating fruits and vegetables in addition to what you usually eat, you are adding calories and may gain weight. The key is substitution. Eat fruits and vegetables instead of some other high-calorie food. So replace the fast food with the fruit or the vegetables. Replace the processed food with the vegetables or the fruit. Okay, and you can't just eat fruit. Some people will just replace it and just eat the sugary side of things. Because the vegetables, they may not taste the best. But there are tricks there too with getting, some extra flavor added in when eating vegetables. Okay. It says here, choose whole fruit over fruit drinks and juices. Fruit juices have lost fiber from the fruit. Okay. So some people may want to get their fruits through drinking it. And oftentimes through not necessarily 100% fruit juice, or maybe not even cold pressed juice. But even if it's cold pressed, keep in mind that you're not getting the fiber that you would get when you actually eat the fruit. And what, do with fiber on another broadcast. But so some may ask, why am I using the WHO and the CDC's websites here when it comes to health? Well, they're actually confirming what the Bible says when it comes to fruits, vegetables, and our health. So as long as it's being confirmed through the Bible, then we don't have any issue with these particular sources, and we're actually showing that that this is that they too have a responsibility to put forth the truth of when it comes to our health and holding them accountable. And also this platform, and when it comes to talking about these particular topics and subject matters, is that there are some, there are different things that are put in place that, have to be the way that they are in order for us to be able to maintain a lot of the perks on this channel and to be able to keep a channel. There are a lot of guidelines. So, but moving on here. So now that we understand through the Bible, we look at the WHO, the CDC, they confirm the Bible, that food is our medicine, and that food consists of things that come out of the earth. We have here off the Gocc circle, it says, let food be thy medicine. It says, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food, harkens back to Hippocrates, the father of medicine. This quote, though thousands of years old, acknowledges the importance of healthy eating and how the nutrients in various foods have healing properties. Okay, so we have to understand that the minerals, the vitamins, the fiber, these things in fruits and vegetables, which is really, you can't get them anyplace else with anything else out there that they're calling food. You can only get them here, have healing properties. So now we're seeing how our food is our medicine. Our food should be nourishing us, not killing us. We should not be eating things and feeling sick or eating things and getting sick. And when I say that, I don't mean because you ate something that was bad, as far as it was rotten, okay, or it was contaminated. I'm speaking more so when you're eating things that are actually not nourishing and healing your body, but is actually breaking your body down, causing your body to gain weight that you can't get rid of. It says here, a healthy lifestyle with good nutrition is vital for maintaining good health and disease prevention. So by eating this way, we talked about what is medicine. Medicine is prevention of disease. A healthy diet includes eating and drinking enough of the right foods to provide your body with the nutrients needed to function properly and maintain health as it is needed to do. Okay, so our food has to have nutrients in it. It can't just be food that has calories with no nutrients. It needs to be nutrient-dense food. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, and the such. It says here, some diets encourage disease such as hypertension, high cholesterol, and other heart issues, and increase the odds of obesity, diabetes, and cancer. So if you're the demon, which foods would you want the person to eat? You would want the person to eat the food that's going to destroy them, not heal them. Okay? Other diets reduce the risk for these diseases. So when you're reducing the risk of disease, or you're eliminating the disease, you're eliminating the demon, you're kicking it out of your body, it no longer has a home. It's on the streets. Now it has to find a new home. It says here, research shows that eating a mostly plant-based diet can keep the body free of certain diseases, reverse many diseases, and aid in the prevention of or reduce the risk of cancers. So when you find yourself in this place of obesity or disease, now the things that are clean, like clean meat of animal flesh, now you have to abstain from eating those things because, you're not getting the same type of nourishment and healing from eating animals that you would get from eating things that come from the ground. Remember, we as people come from the ground. So it only makes sense that the earth would help us. Okay, what comes out of the earth? Minerals. Then you have the sun. The sun then hits the plant or the herb or the vegetable or the fruit or the tree and produces vitamins, enzymes, chlorophyll. These things healing our bodies. And when we get away from that, now we're opening up the door for disease. Okay, so even though it's lawful to eat clean meat, if you find yourself in a place of obesity or disease, you may have to abstain from that to get healed. It says here, a plant-based diet can keep the body free of certain diseases, reverse many diseases, and aid in the prevention of or reduce the risk of cancers. So I said this before on a broadcast. If we do this, 80 to 90% of the stuff that we have or would get would be eliminated. 90% if we just fix this one thing. Instead of running to the silver bullet solution of a pill. And that includes an herbal pill. Somebody may think that they can take, I got the wonder herb, and they have the super herb or the superfood. And they'll just eat that, but they'll eat all the rest of the bad stuff and think they're going to be healed or they're going to lose weight. Doesn't happen like that. Or that they'll prevent themselves from getting sick if they're not, or prevent themselves from getting overweight if they're not overweight. Doesn't happen like that. A mostly plant-based diet consists largely of vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, fruits, nuts, and seeds. If desired, 20% of the diet could contain fish and chicken and minimal low-fat dairy products. Okay, so this is more so how we should be eating when we're talking about animal flesh, more fish. Okay, talk about chicken breasts, minimal low-fat dairy products, but minimal dairy products. Shouldn't be eating and drinking a lot of milk and cheese. It says these nutrient-dense foods provide the body with healing vitamins, minerals, proteins, healthy fats, and fiber. Let me say that again. These nutrient-dense foods provide the body with healing vitamins, minerals, proteins, healthy fats, and fiber. So these nutrients are healing. And let's just see how our food is our medicine and our medicine is our food. So we've lost the understanding of what medicine is and what food is, how to heal ourselves, how to keep ourselves from getting sick. And now we must take that power back. It says here, along with a plant-based diet, keeping adequately hydrated is important for optimal health. Drinking 8-ounce glasses a day is ideal. The rule of thumb, drink half your weight in ounces per day. Coffee, tea, milk, pop, and juices don't count. Drinking pure, clean water is the best way to hydrate and keep your body flushed of toxins. So how much water are we drinking a day? How are you going to flush the toxins out of your body if you're not drinking the water? Chemicals in our environment can be detrimental to nutritional health. Buy organic food items and choose produce from local farms when possible. Wash all fruits and vegetables before eating to eliminate pesticides and potential toxins. Let food be thy medicine is a great approach to take when looking at lifestyle changes needed to prevent and reduce disease. So this is a lifestyle change. This is not a fad, something you do for a day or a week or a month. This is everyday life. Okay, if you want to live, you have to eat life to live. You have to do things that are of life, that bring forth life to live. This does not suggest that conventional medicines are not necessary, but rather shows a significant role that a healthy diet plays in disease prevention. Take full advantage of what a healthy diet can do for you. Okay, and we have another let thy food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food article here, coming off of chosenfoods.com. This oft-quoted phrase spoken by Hippocrates around 400 BC has never been more relevant. There is an increasing reliance on prescription drugs to treat any ailment, both mental and physical. And with the CDC reporting that nearly 50% of Americans use at least one prescription drug, it's clear that food is not the medicine Hippocrates hoped it'd be. Okay, and before Hippocrates, it was the Almighty Creator in heaven that created the herb-bearing seed from the very beginning that came out of the earth. Okay, so we're not giving Hippocrates like he's the father of all this. He just made a quote. We're just using the quote. Whether he said it or someone else said it, doesn't matter. Okay, 50% of Americans use at least one prescription drug. And we're not telling people not to go to the doctor and not to use those things that are prescribed to them. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not a doctor. But 50% of people taking one prescription drug, it's clear that food is not the medicine that's being utilized here. There's something else going on that should be being used as medicine that's leading people to all these prescription drugs. Our recent series on changing the food climate outlines how the daily dietary choices that many Americans make directly impacts their health and therefore their reliance on drugs as medicine. A diet high in refined sugar leads to type 2 diabetes and often a reliance on insulin injections. Those with blood sugar issues often also need to take blood pressure regulating medications. The frequent use of vegetable oils and trans fatty acids leads to heart disease and a reliance on statin drugs, which lower high cholesterol levels. These are just a few examples of how the food many Americans are eating is not medicine but poison. So that's the question you must ask yourself. The food you're eating, is it medicine or is it poison? Is it nourishing your body or is it causing your body to deteriorate into sickness? Modern day research sheds light on just why food is the best medicine. Studies show that poor dietary choices are the cause of chronic inflammation, which is the primary driver of disease. Among the most common of these conditions to be treated with drugs are chronic illnesses like high cholesterol, asthma, diabetes, arthritis, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure. But prescription drugs do not provide healing, only a managing or masking of symptoms. True healing comes from making informed choices with each meal and by respecting food as the medicine it truly is. How food heals. Food is medicine when it provides a significant positive impact to our body systems as a whole. Foods that have anti-inflammatory properties are proven to have the greatest impact on chronic illnesses, like those listed above. While it is essential to eliminate those foods that will promote inflammation in the body, it is equally as important to replace those foods with those that combat inflammation and reduce the chronic stresses that life can have on the body. Eating an anti-inflammatory diet is not so trendy as some of the buzzword diets floating around these days, nor does it promise immediate drop in waist size like many do. In fact, it shouldn't be viewed as a diet at all, but rather a lifestyle choice around which all eating habits are based. Frequent consumption of and even a reliance on foods that moderate inflammation is the foundation of a healing diet that will work to ward off disease for years. So when we're eating the fast food, eating the sugary foods, the processed foods, the junk foods, it's causing inflammation in our body. Okay? Because the body is hurting now from eating this stuff. It's inflamed. It's swelling up. Because this isn't what the body was designed to digest or ingest. So we have here the top 5 healing foods for an anti-inflammatory diet. Wild-caught fish, particularly cold water fatty fish like tuna, salmon, herring, and sardines, have the greatest amounts of bioavailable omega-3 fatty acids. We're going to talk about fish on another broadcast. But yes, because fish is going to give us both the protein and the healthy fats that we need. Also, cold water fish is one of the only natural sources of vitamin D, which is shown to have strong immunomodulating effects. So we're going to talk about the vitamins in our upcoming broadcasts, the importance of vitamins and what they do. So you can get vitamin D, one of the most important vitamins, one that we're not getting much of, with fish. Healthy fats, another one, found in pasteurized or pastured meat and eggs are a significant source of conjugated linoleic acid, which is a good trans fat responsible for lowering inflammation. Other fat sources include avocados and avocado oil, olives, and extra virgin olive oil. sesames and sesame seed oil. These oils high in vitamin E, which is linked to decreasing inflammatory markers. Vegetables, another one, like bell peppers, carrots, broccoli, cabbage, and beets have extremely high levels of vitamin C, an antioxidant proven to reduce inflammation in the body. Dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collards are high in vitamin E. Okay, so you're getting things from stuff that comes out of the earth that can't even be described or explained when you're talking about the enzymes, the phytonutrients that are coming from these plants, these fruits, these vegetables. The sun causing all these phytonutrients to flow because these things are alive. Trees, vegetables, fruits, they're alive. Berries, while not the only fruits to combat inflammation, seem to be the most powerful due to their high phytonutrient content. Okay, so berries have a ability to be anti-inflammatory. Herbs and spices like ginger, garlic, turmeric, and red peppers, meaning cayenne pepper, are some of the most concentrated forms of anti-inflammatory compounds. So these particular compounds decrease pain, swelling, and inflammation. Okay, so just more proof that our food is our medicine, but if it's something that we're calling food that's not food, it could be our death. It could be our disease. We also have here the top 10 reasons to eat more fruits and vegetables. And you all will get these links in the description box after the broadcast. So if you want these reference articles, you will get them. Okay, so some of the reasons to consume more fruits and vegetables. Number one, fruits and vegetables are a great source of vitamins and minerals. We talked about that. Lots and lots of fiber, low calorie and low fat, protect against cancer and other diseases. They help you maintain good health, low in sodium and cholesterol, convenient, quick, and easy. And of course, you can even make smoothies. You can do smoothies or juices, blending these things together and drinking them. All right. So some of the top reasons for eating more fruits and vegetables. And in our last article we have here, vegetables and fruits. Just a general reference here from the nutrition source on vegetables and fruits. Vegetables and fruits are an important part of a healthy diet, and a variety is as important as quantity. No single fruit or vegetable provides all of the nutrients you need to be healthy. Eat plenty every day. So you want a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. The more you eat in variety, the better. It says here, a diet rich in vegetables and fruits can lower blood pressure, reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke, prevent some types of cancer, lower risk of eye and digestive problems, and have a positive effect upon blood sugar, which can help keep appetite in check. Eating non-starchy vegetables and fruits like apples, pears, and green leafy vegetables may even promote weight loss. Their low glycemic loads prevent blood sugar spikes that can increase hunger. Okay. So now it goes into tips on how you can get more vegetables and fruits in your diet. Keep them where you can see them. That way, if you see them on the counter, they're easy to access, easy to remember. Grab them on your way passing. Explore the produce aisle and choose something new. Try a different variety of vegetable or fruit from week to week when you go to the store. Skip the potatoes. So not that you can't eat potatoes, but maybe eating too many potatoes and not enough vegetables. Try cooking with new recipes that include more vegetables. Salads, soup, stir fries, just a few ideas of how you can get vegetables in your meals. All right, and then it goes into the different diseases that come from not getting enough vegetables and fruits in our diets. Cardiovascular disease. All right, there's compelling evidence that a diet rich in fruits and vegetables can lower the risk of heart disease and stroke, blood pressure, cancer, diabetes. Okay, and these can come even for someone who, again, is slim or lean. You don't have to be obese to get sick, but it increases your likelihood if you're overweight or obese. Weight, another thing that comes from not eating enough fruits and vegetables. Gastrointestinal health, vision. Okay, all these things. So that is, a good chunk and piece of information when it comes to our diet, our food being medicine. And I want to leave you all with this meme here as a rule of thought when it comes to our food being our medicine and our medicine being our food. It says when diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So when we're not eating right, chances are that any type of pill or what you would call medicine isn't going to help because you have a bad diet. Okay, think about it. What you eat is majority of what you're putting into your body. That medicine, that pill, is a very, very small amount of what you're putting into your body compared to all the food that you're putting in. So the medicine is of no use. And when your diet is correct, meaning you're eating all the things you should be eating, okay, the things that come out of the earth, medicine is of no need because the food is your medicine. The food is healing you. All right, and just one more time, I'm going to show this earlier from Kanye, talking about this obesity epidemic that is being waged in the black community, and this lifestyle of being unhealthy by being overweight, that it's a demon and it's another form of black genocide.
Deal. And just one by one, I've been winning these battles, right? And they thought they had me. They had the idea that Ye was bullying, what I think the liberal term is a body goes.
Fair use. So the liberal term, we talked about the liberal world order. Okay. One of their agendas is body goals. That's the term. And it's getting you to be overweight.
Black woman. Now let's talk about Gabby and my good friend Lizzo. Lizzo works with my trainer, a friend of mine, Harley Pasternak. When Lizzo loses 10 pounds and announces it, the bots, that's a term for people like, it's like telemarketer callers, like on Instagram, they attack her for losing weight because the media wants to put out a perception that being overweight is the new goal when it's actually unhealthy.
Yes.
Let's get aside the fact of whether it's fashion and vogue, which is not. Let's just, or if someone thinks it's attractive, to each his own. It's actually clinically unhealthy, and for people to promote that, it's demonic. You know.
What can I ask?
Yeah.
I've noticed this also.
Yeah.
Why do you think they would want to promote unhealthiness among the population?
It's a genocide of the black race. They want to kill us in any way they can. Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK, and I believe that if we saw ourselves as a people and not a race, then we would treat our people better.
So that is our installment on the Health and Fitness series tonight. Let thy food be thy medicine, and medicine thy food. I pray you brothers and sisters got some edification from this information tonight. When it comes to taking full control of your life by tackling and slaying the obesity demon. All right? It's not an overnight victory. It's a war. Okay? And then even after you've won the battle and you've got yourself to a healthy weight, it's an ongoing battle. The demon isn't going to stop. He's going to try to come back in. Okay? But knowing what our food is, and knowing that this also is our medicine, okay, it keeps the demons at bay, and it keeps the sickness away. All right, so with that, I pray you all who are listening, who are members of the Gathering of Christ Church, you're the Hebrew faith, that you have a blessed Sabbath. For those who are visitors or new listeners who maybe just came here for the health aspect of the information that you've seen, you stumbled across this video, I pray that it has been beneficial to you, and I implore you to come check out the Gathering of Christ Church and the different teachings that we have, all things in relation to and all the aspects of our lives and what's going on, as this health and fitness is just one thing we're dealing with right now. So, into our next installment of the Health and Fitness series, I pray that you all are blessed, and I will see you all next time, if it be the Lord's will. Shalom, peace,